Hello, YouTube. My name is Plazukas. I've spent all night playing God of War Sons of Sparta. It's about a 7 to 10 hour game, depending on how long it takes you to challenge, the bosses and stuff like that. It can obviously take longer if you're having difficulties because you get to retry over and over again. And then I had to write the actual review for this, so that's what we're going to see right now.
Before I was a father. Before I was a god. I was a Spartan.
God of War Sons of Sparta functions as a true origin story, not a retcon, not a side tale, a foundation. The focus is tight, young Kratos before godhood, the brutality of Spartan indoctrination, brotherhood, loyalty, and the cost of ambition. The narrative explores the moment Kratos stops being a soldier and starts becoming a weapon. The emotional core is built around the relationships that shaped him, not the gods who later betrayed him. The clarity works in its favor because when the stakes are personal, the rage feels earned. It doesn't have the layered emotional sophistication of the 2018 reinvention, but it doesn't need to. By staying grounded in Spartan culture and familial conflict, the story strengthens the broader saga retroactively. It gives context to the monster. If you're walking in expecting the intricate world folding of Silk Song, you'll be disappointed. There are no secret heavy labyrinths, no traversal abilities that fundamentally change how you read the map, no environmental design that rewards obsessive mastery. Compared to the Lost Crown Assassin's Creed's Metroidvania, which thrives on tight platforming and smart ability gating, Sons of Sparta feels almost old school. It is forward momentum, combat arena, climb sequence, puzzle chamber, boss encounter, rinse and repeat. But here's the important part. It never pretends to be anything else. The pacing is efficient, the levels are readable, environmental storytelling supports the narrative instead of overwhelming it. Spartan battlefields, war torn temples, training grounds, they're cohesive and purposeful. The design isn't complex, it's disciplined. The combat system doesn't attempt reinvention, it refines. Heavy attacks feel impactful, light chains are responsive, rage bursts are visually explosive and mechanically simple. There's no build crap depth, no layered counter systems, no experimental weapon archetypes. This is straightforward Greek era brutality, and that works mostly. The Spartan themes, discipline, hierarchy, brotherhood, betrayal, create a clean narrative arc. The emotional through line is easy to follow. The motivations are clear. In a genre increasingly obsessed with complexity, Sons of Sparta is almost refreshingly direct. But that simplicity also caps its ceiling. And when you hold it up next to the genre leaders, the gaps becomes obvious. Silksong promises layered exploration and player expression. The Lost Crown delivers platforming and combat synergy that constantly evolves. Sons of Sparta delivers competence. That's not the same thing as brilliance. Guns, God of War Sons of Sparta is not a masterpiece. It is not genre defining. It is not mechanically groundbreaking. It does not match the design sophistication of titles inspiring its comparisons. What it is focused. It understands that an origin story doesn't need spectacle to matter. It needs clarity. It needs emotional grounding. It needs purpose. And in that lane, it succeeds. This is a clean, confident, straightforward character study wrapped in blood and bronze. Not legendary, but meaningful. And sometimes for a franchise built on access, that's exactly enough. God of War Sons of Sparta is $29.99 on the PlayStation Store, with rumors that it will come to Nintendo Switch at some point in the future. This is one of those art styles that is perfect for the handheld, whether it be the PlayStation Portal or if it comes to Nintendo Switch, and I'm sure it'll actually eventually find its way onto PC just to increase the amount of sales. For me, this is probably coming in at around 7.5 because of its simplicity. And if I were to compare it to Hollow Knight or Assassin's Creed The Lost Crown, some of the more recent Metrovanias, I think that's where it would probably land. But because this is an origin story to a very iconic character that has had 20 years of lore in different iterations, I actually do think that this kind of gets it over the edge to be an 8, which is why I'm doing this review. So I give God of War Sons of Sparta a tip to the 8 scale, although I could definitely understand if you feel like it's more a 7 or 7.5 just because of its basic iterations. Its level mapping is pretty generic, but it does have some really cool enemies and some bosses. And then obviously, this is the origin story to God of War Kratos, which is one of the more iconic video game characters of all time. Thank you for watching my review, and I'm going to leave this clip as a little hype segment for the teaser trailer that was introduced in the State of Play. Bye for now.
Before I was a father. Before I was a god. I was a Spartan.
Spartans! Our duty is to Sparta. Fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision. Press your attack! Don't relent! Never on our backs! Never left behind! Always united!
The legendary saga of gods and monsters, of tragedies and triumphs, of destruction